Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the daughter.
And today we are playing Formula D, a racing game. Now you'll notice that this is a very large map. It's also two-sided. This side here represents Monaco, and it is basically a Formula One track. If you flip it to the other side, you have a city map where you can race streetcars. There are also, I think, 4 or 5 expansions for Formula D that give you different tracks, and they're two-sided. There's also other tracks that were part of the Formula Day, which this is basically a revisioning of that, and those tracks are also compatible, and there's a bunch of those. Those are out of print. They're very hard to find. If you do happen to find them and you like this game, get them because they're awesome. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a simple race here. We're going to do one lap, and we are going to use basically the beginner version of the dashboard. This is the dashboard here, and you'll notice this area in yellow. This represents your wear points. We're both going to start off with 18 wear points on our cars, and as we go through the race, we're going to damage the car by overshooting the turns or colliding with other cars or just a couple other little things. So when those things happen, we're going to tell you about them. The other thing I want to show you on the gearbox is, and the really neat thing about this game is that it uses different dice for the gears. So you'll notice here on the gearbox, first gear, you can only go, you can roll a dice that's only going to give you a 1 or 2. Second gear, it's going to be 2 to 4, third gear 4 to 8, and so on. So you have a number of different gears, and just like in real racing, the higher the gear, the faster your car is going to go. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to determine race order, and in order to do that, we're going to roll the black dice. So Megan,
Okay.
go ahead and see where you're at there.
I have a 9.
All right. And I have a 4. So Megan is going to get the pole position.
Cool.
And I will be in the number 2 spot. Now, in order to start the race, we have to make sure that we have a good start. So you're going to roll the black dice again, and if you roll between a 1 and 4,
4.
or is it just 1?
1.
If you roll a 1, you're basically going to stall your engine, and you're going to lose your turn. Yeah, if you roll a 2, between a 2 and 16, that's a normal start, and a 17 through 20 is a great start. If you do get a great start, you're going to be able to move forward 4 spaces regardless of being in first gear.
Yep.
So Megan, go ahead and roll. So you got a good, actually you got a great start.
16.
So you're going to be able to move your car forward 4 spaces.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
Or does that count as a space?
Yes.
Okay, so back 1. There you go. You get a 20.
And I have
So
20,
that's
so I have a
start.
great start. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shift up to second gear. So that means I get the orange dice. And I got a 3, so 1, 2, 3. And I have to stop at least once in this turn.
And you'll notice on the corners, you've got an indicator here. That's how many number of times you have to stop within that corner in order to prevent taking wear damage to your car. The green number, or the number in the green, there shows the longest path. So in this case, it's going to be 7. And then the number in red shows the number that is the shortest path, which is 3. If you overshoot the curve, however many spaces you overshoot is how many wear points you're going to lose. So, Megan, it is your turn.
Yep, I'm going to go shift up to third gear. Red dice. And 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to shift up to third as well. And 4. Wow. 1, 2, 3. So I overshot by 1, so I will have
One
to
wear
take
point.
1 wear point.
I'm shifting up to 4th gear. Green dice.
12.
12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right there. Your turn.
All right. I will shift up into 4th.
7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm going to shift back down to 3rd gear.
Whoa!
Knocking the course off.
This is the one drawback to the game is because the map is so big, it's actually in 2 pieces.
Yeah.
So it kind of will slide on you sometimes.
And it's new, so it's a little bouncy. So 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I barely just made that
I know.
curve.
I did good there.
All right. I am going to stay in 4th gear.
Okay.
Get that red dice out of the way.
11.
And 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Barely made it in.
Yep.
Good.
I'm going to stay in 3rd gear and take the risk if I overshoot. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know.
What if you stay in the back part?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. I'll stay there. There we go. No
Yep.
damage.
Okay. Because I made my stop, I am going to go ahead and stay in 4th gear.
8.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm going to stay in 3rd gear because I don't want to overshoot that one. Whoop. Throwing the dice on the floor.
Good thing we're not playing escape.
Yeah. Oh, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go.
All right. I better downshift here.
Okay.
I'm going to downshift to 3rd, and so I'll roll the red dice here.
7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There you go.
You're still in
Stay
1st.
3rd. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there.
Yeah, you got that 3 corner
Yeah,
coming up
that's
too.
why I'm wanting to stay in there.
Wow. Now, here's where some strategy comes in. Do I want to
Yeah.
shift up so I can try to make that curve?
Do
You know
wanna
what?
risk it?
I think I am. I'm going to shift up to 4th.
Okay. There you go. 11.
11. Let's see. If I stay along the outside here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yep.
I'm going to do that.
Right there. I'm gonna stay in 3rd gear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in there. So first stop.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I don't think I can afford to stay up that far. This is going to probably cost me, but I'm going to shift down to 3rd.
Yeah. 5.
5. Go ahead and keep me on the outside.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
So risk 1. Okay.
All right, Megan.
I'm gonna
Still
stay
you.
in 3rd gear.
8.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go
Yep.
right there.
So that's your second stop.
Yep.
You're in a pretty good position.
I am.
Well, you know what? I'm going to downshift to 2nd
Okay.
because I've got 3 stops to make there.
2.
2. Yeah, I'm not even going to make the curve.
Yep.
This is probably where we're going to have some separation.
So that was my second stop, correct?
Yep.
I'm gonna shift up. 4th gear.
Wow.
I did good. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there.
No, that's pretty good, Megan.
No, I did good.
All right. Well, I'm going to stay in this gear. And 3.
3.
So keep me on the...
On the corner?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna shift up 5th gear. Purple dice. 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Right there. There we go.
And they do put little numbers on the outside of the track to kind of help you with counting, but they're real hard to read even with my glasses. Okay, so that was my first stop
It's easier
in the
to
corner
walk in
there.
line.
Yeah. So I'm going to go
What are you
ahead.
gonna do?
I'm going to stay in 2nd
Okay.
and
3.
move me 3 along the outside there
1, 2, 3.
because I still got one more stop to make.
Gonna stay in 5th for this corner.
19. Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's only 2. That's not too bad.
Okay, so you
So
took 2
2
wear
wear
points.
damage. Yep. That's not too bad.
You know what? I've got to make up some ground here. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shift up to 3rd
Okay. 7.
and 7. Keep me on the outside.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so I'll just take 1 wear
That's
point
not too
there.
bad. Okay, I'm gonna shift down because there's a corner coming up. So 4th gear, and that is 10. So I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's my 1 stop.
All right. I will shift up to 4th gear, try to make
Okay.
up some ground.
Got a lot of ground to make
And
up
12.
there.
Go ahead and keep me on the outside there.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Right there. I
you're
got
still
2 stops in
Way
that one.
ahead.
I'm gonna play it safe. Go down to 3rd gear. 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there. That spot.
Okay.
You want to shift up?
Well, oh man,
You could probably do
I've
it.
got to.
Yeah.
I've got to make up some ground here, so I got to be on the risky side. 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh,
We're close.
Yeah.
But no cigar.
that could be the end of the game.
Hasn't finished yet. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there.
All right. Yeah, now I've got a downshift. I've got no choice here
Yeah.
because I'm probably going to blow
Whoop.
through this.
You're escaping it there.
Whoops! The dice is rolling all over the floor. Let's try this again. Okay, 9.
9.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So
2.
I only lose 2.
You're doing good though. You haven't lost that many. That's not too bad.
That puts me down to 14.
I'm gonna stay in 3rd because I have 2 stops in that corner. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there.
And really, when you're playing the basic game,
It's pretty easy. Yeah.
you're probably not going to blow through all 18 wear points. In the advanced game, it actually breaks it down by the individual components of your car. So you'll see here, oops, upside down. So you have like your tires, and you've got your what's that, motor.
Yeah.
You've got your various components of your car. Let's just put it that way. And you're going to see that you've got different numbers for the values of that. So when you play in the advanced, that really comes into play more. Plus, also if you're going to do a multiple lap race.
Yeah. So your turn.
So it's still my turn.
Yep.
I am in 4th gear.
You're gonna shift
Let's
up.
see. Can I? Well, let's see if I can hang there
Let me
now.
see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 is
Can you
12.
make 12?
Yep, I can.
Okay.
So I'm going to stay in 4th gear.
8.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm gonna stay in 3rd gear here. Make that last little thing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there. So that was my last stop.
Yeah. This
One
is,
more corner.
I've got to stop twice there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stay in 4th gear.
Yeah.
Heck with it. Otherwise, I'm going to lose. So 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go. Oops. Right there.
I'm gonna shift up, and if I lose some points, rare points, I don't think it'll matter much. So 12.
You stand outside.
Yeah, let's
1,
go
2,
for it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh,
Doesn't
I
matter.
did good there. Only 1. Okie dokes. Your turn.
Yeah. And see, if I overshoot this corner and go into the next one, that does not count for my
No.
1. So I've got to shift down here now, unfortunately. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's going to keep me.
5th gear, purple
There.
dice. 19.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3,
Just
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Zoom.
18, 19. Yeah. So
I think we kind of know who won that one.
let's go to the winner's circle
Yeah.
and present the trophy. Okay, so you saw the trophy presentation there.
Yep.
Megan, you kicked my butt by a mile.
Yeah.
I still had 2 curves to go through. That really slowed me down, missing that one over
Mm-hmm.
there. Now this is what the backside of the normal map looks like. It's the city map, and you'll notice there's a couple of different things. So this is one of the maps you want to play with after you know the game fairly well. If you look over here on this side, right there you have a stretch of road where there is damage already. So you have to be able to navigate around that. You also have a police headquarters here where there's special rules that come into play. But otherwise, the map is pretty much, you're going to follow the same type of rules that you have when you play the Monaco or the other city maps. Now, give you a quick close-up of what the cars look like. They're just little plastic cars here. So you can see the difference. Like there's a Formula One car, and there's street cars there, and they come in a bunch of different colors. Also, the game comes with a little baggie of markers that you can put on the track for various weather conditions, or when cars do incur damage, that you can put those on spaces as well. And then finally, the different racers. Normally, you can play with just like the generic racer here, where they're going to show you, what your tires and the rest of the wear points will be for your car. But if you flip them over, you're going to be able to see that there are individual drivers that have their own unique setup on their cars. So that really adds a lot of flavor. And if you want to do, like some role playing, like if you want to be Montoya Cadena, or if you want to be, Timana Mathai, or Stanley Washington and his sweet ride. There's a lot of options that you can have when you play this. We want to give a big shout out to Asmodee for making this episode possible. I'm not really a racing fan. I don't watch NASCAR. I don't watch Formula One. And I don't really have a lot of racing games that I've played. If you saw our last video for Millborn, that's a racing card game. It's a lot of fun.
But you've grown up with that, though.
I did grow up with that.
So that's kind of like partial likeness, I guess.
But there's a lot more to this.
It's more math-oriented.
Yeah, I mean,
there's... Think about it.
It's not really just roll and move. Mm-hmm. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But, there's strategy as far as changing gears, what lanes you're going to be in, that sort of thing. Yeah. I will say this. It is better with more cars on the track as opposed to just 2 players. And it's also better with the advanced rules. We just kind of showed you using the simplified rules so you got an idea of how it played without bogging it down too much. One of the other things I want to show off is the insert for this. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, everything is in its place.
Yep.
Just pull the board out.
Nothing really moves around either. It's all pretty good. And they give you slots for the dice too, which is cool.
And for the dashboards, and for the drivers, and for the gear bits. And then there's a couple wells for the dashboard.
So you have multiple players.
But so everything fits in nice.
Yep.
Like I said, I really like it. Oh, and the other thing too is there are 2 rule books. So there is one for the basic and one for the advanced. And if you go out on Board Game Geek, and I forgot who did this, but there's a lot of little cheat sheets for when you're playing the advanced game. This was my favorite because it's very concise. Plus, when you print it out, it prints out on both sides of the paper as far as the halves. So you can cut it down the middle and make a couple of these, and you've got enough references for 4 players. So that is Formula D. So we're going to keep racing through January, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.